By Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Ally Chevrolet. And Jimmie, before we kick it off for questions, our friends here at Dover are celebrating their 50th anniversary this season. And being the winningest driver here at Dover, just talk a little bit about this track and what it's meant for your career.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I'm very biased at this racetrack. I think it's the best one out there. I think all drivers can appreciate just the challenge that comes with this track. The banking, the speed, the transitions from the straightaways to the corners. So I noticed on social media before we got here that drivers, crew chiefs, team, crew members, were all talking about how much they love coming here. It's just a very unique challenge and a totally different racetrack than anything else we race on.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand. State your name and affiliation. We'll start right here in the middle.
Matt Corson with KickingTheTires.net. Jimmie, you said at Martinsville that a lot of changes and rules to the cars have impacted your advantage there. Can you talk about if that's done the same thing here? If so, how so?
Over the years, I feel like here we've probably stayed in the game more than other tracks. We won here a couple years ago. I feel like we were one of the best cars last fall, but had something weird break on the car before we took the track for the race. So I feel like here the vertical loading is all, and we've talked about this a little bit I think in the press, but our cars have always performed well at HMS with high vertical loading, and this track certainly has a lot of that. So Martinsville has, seems like it slipped away from us a little bit performance wise, but Dover, we seem to come back here and repeat each time.
All right, Tim, go ahead.
Tim Kelfman with WRC Sports. Jimmie, I just had a question for you. Do you prefer single car qualifying, or were you more comfortable with group car qualifying as far as what you would have to bring to the table for a driver to get the best out of that lap?
Selfishly, I think my stats would show that single car qualifying, I've performed better in those moments. So that brings a little optimism to this new format. But whatever we need to do. I've been doing this long enough now. I've seen all types of formats and variations, and I really don't have an opinion either way. I just hope the fans enjoy it and it puts on a good show for television.
All right, Lee.
Lee Spencer, RacingBoys.com. We saw a great performance by the Chevys at Talladega. They're fast on the speed chart in first practice. What do you think it's going to look like for the bow tie brigade once we get to Kansas and we're looking at a completely different aero package, engine package combination?
Yeah, I think we're all trending in the right direction and getting better each and every week. But that, as you pointed out, that's just a totally different rules package for the Kansas race. Personally, I look at our success at Texas and think that the mile-and-a-half format and rules package, HMS has improved and is doing better. So optimistic, certainly very happy to be at a track that I love so much, and feel like we can hopefully string together a couple really strong weeks here.
All right, additional questions? Go ahead.
Zach Cerniolo, Poker Record. Jimmie, Kyle was in here earlier and voiced some concern over just how fast the cars are going around here. Do you have any concern about how fast the speeds we're seeing are? And what do you feel like that line is?
I'm not sure what his exact comments were, but from a safety standpoint, I don't have big concerns. From a Sunday, in race opportunity to pass, the type of racing we'll see on Sunday, I am nervous about that. The faster we go, the harder it is to pass. The wider the racetrack needs to be, and the critical areas around this track are pretty narrow, and there's really one groove around the bottom in most years I've been here. So the tall spoiler, the higher speeds, I think that's going to make the cars very difficult to really pass the car in front of you. So from that standpoint, I think track position is important, and that's where my concerns are.
All right, additional questions for Jimmie? All right, we're going to let you go easy today. Thanks for